Hey sis, and welcome back to my channel. I'm KayFitt, a certified personal trainer and just a self-growth, self-love enthusiast. And in today's video, I want to talk about how to lose belly fat without losing your curves. You can't really see it right now because I got these baggy sweatpants on because it's raining and I'm chilling inside and I wanted to just do my hair and get cute from the top up. But I have like these sweatpants on, but as you can see, the girl got a little bit of a booty, okay? And I consider like this part to be a little bit, you know, flatter. I do need to work on it because I've been slacking a little bit lately, but I do know how to do it because I transformed my body throughout these years. And I was like, I want to give tips on that. So without all this blabbing, let's get into it. So right now I have a whiteboard. As you noticed, I've been doing something new on my channel. For only one other video, but I'm going to start doing it from now on, where I have a whiteboard with everything we're going to be talking about in today's video. So if you want to screenshot it and then maybe zoom in, because it might be hard to see from there, but it's here. So if you ever screenshot it off your phone, you could zoom into it, or you could just take notes as I go. But I feel like the whiteboard method is really, really good. So without further ado, now let's finally get into the video and what we're here for. So the first thing I want you guys to keep in mind before even starting this journey is that you cannot spot reduce fat, okay? I've had so many people come to me, and I used to think this too, and think they could lose fat in one specific area, or they could lose fat right here. First of all, this right here, that's normal. So I always like to tell females, if you have a little bit of this right here, that is normal. That's normal because that's a part of like your, that's the fat around your muscle. This is normal, so don't obsess over that. But anyways, you can't spot reduce body fat, but you can control how your body burns fat overall and how you shape your body through your training. Now we're going to get into how you need to be training. The first thing you need to do is prioritize strength training as well as cardio, but I'm going to get into the cardio part after this. But when it comes to strength training, glutes, legs, and full body to keep your muscles on you and give you that slim, thick look that we're all looking for. When I say keep your muscles on you, you're not going to look bulky. You're not going to look like those bodybuilders. Some of the leanest girls that you see that have like nice, you call them tone, they're lifting weights, even if it's not super duper heavy. Like I don't lift super duper heavy, but I still consider it lifting. Like I'm using a 20-pound dumbbell, I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell. That's still considered strength training. That's still considered weight training. So it doesn't matter how heavy you are trying to lift, as long as you're using some form of resistance. Even if you want to do body weight, that's still some form of resistance. But I always recommend investing in some kind of dumbbells. Even if it's just 10 pounds, that is enough to give you the results that you are looking for. If you are into heavy lifting, I always recommend maybe going up with the dumbbells, but it's okay if you're not a heavy lifter and you just want to lift 5 or 10-pound dumbbells. That can still give you the results that's best for you, okay? Now, when it comes to the cardio, I want you to use your cardio and use your cardio wisely, okay? It's very important to remember that because cardio is important, but too much of it can flatten your overall curves and stuff. When I say too much of it, I'm not those people that's going to tell you don't do cardio at all, because if you guys know me, I say this all the time, but I do cardio at the end of every one of my workouts because I like the way it makes me feel. I'm going to do stuff that I like. If I like the way it makes me feel, I'm going to do it. But I do 20 to 30 minutes of it. I don't go over that. If I'm walking on an incline, I might do 40 minutes maybe, but I usually stick to 20 to 30 minutes. Or if I'm doing a HIIT workout, as you know, HIIT workouts that I post on my page, those are usually 10 or 20 minutes long. It's never over that. So that's what I mean by using your cardio wisely. The workouts that I post, those are ways to use your cardio because you're doing short form cardio. Walking on an incline or walking outside, that's steady pace cardio. You're not overdoing it. When I say overdoing cardio, I'm talking about people who do cardio for 2 hours at a time. It's okay to do that if you just enjoy it, but if you're overworking your muscles and just causing a lot of burnout, that could be why. If you're running like 4 miles every single day, that might be overworking and burning you out, and overall maybe like making your curves vanish. But it's not, I'm not saying don't do cardio at all. I'm saying use your cardio wisely. 20 to 30 minutes is a great way to do cardio. Even if you want to do cardio every single day like me, do it 10, 20, 30 minutes after your workout. That is simple, steady pace cardio. Incline walking or HIIT workouts is my favorite form of cardio. Even if you want to jump rope, if you would like to do that, but I never overdo it with the jump rope. I usually do like, if I'm doing jump rope, I'll do like maybe like 10 minutes, but I never overdo it with that. But I usually, the main two I do is my HIIT workouts that I post, or my incline walking. If I don't feel like doing a lot of jumping, I'll just walk on the treadmill. I split it up, so 2 days a week I'm doing the incline walks, and then 2 days a week I'm doing my HIIT workouts, and then maybe that third day a week I've just freestyle, whatever one I want to do, either the incline walk or the HIIT. So I choose that day, but I like to structure my workouts like that. So the next thing we're going to focus on now is how you should eat. So you need to be eating in a small deficit. You do not need to starve yourself to get results. Now, when I was eating in a deficit, I was not tracking my calories. I just wasn't. But I do understand that a lot of people are interested in doing that, and I feel like, you know, some people, they work best with tracking their stuff. So I feel like you should do 300 to 500 calories below what you would normally do. Search up what's best for your body weight. So search up your body weight, weigh yourself, and then figure out what would be the best amount of calories to eat for your body weight. Figure that out and then go from there. Okay, I can't tell you individually because I don't know how much you weigh, but go from there. I personally did not track myself. I just focused on eating clean, healthier meals, okay, which leads me into what kind of meals. I made sure I was consuming protein. Now, when I used to think about protein, I used to think about like big, huge, muscular people, and I used to think healthy eating was just salads. I know there was a period of time where I feel like back in 2016, a lot of people thought that. A lot of people thought that healthy eating was just salads, carrots, vegetables, and that was it. And I feel like it was a wave of that really going around, and just up until like 2020 when COVID happened is when people really started to realize that protein actually had a lot of benefits, especially for women, okay? So you want to make sure you're having protein within your meals. So protein helps keep your muscles shaped, and it also keeps your body shaped. So that curvy look you're looking for, protein is a great source that you need to be consuming to keep that body shape. Also, along with that, it also helps with your just overall energy, with your strength. You need to be consuming that, because if you're doing all this strength training with cardio, you're going to need something to fuel your body, and just eating fruits and veggies is not going to fuel you enough as protein would. And there are some examples of great sources of protein that a lot of people like, and some people overlook it because they're not realizing that that is a form of protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, salmon, tofu for my vegan. So if you don't eat meat, tofu is a great form of protein. And then protein shakes. Protein shakes are optional, and I say this because when I first started working out, I was doing protein shakes a little bit, but I personally didn't really like it. I didn't like how it was making me gain weight faster, and it was only because I'm naturally already a little bit bigger or thicker. My bones are naturally already bigger. So I feel like personally protein shakes are great for females who are naturally slimmer if they have a hard time building muscle, but I'm not an expert when it comes to protein shakes, so do your own research, and even if you have to ask your doctor just to figure out if it would be the best option for you. I'm just talking about my personal experience with protein shakes. I just didn't personally like them like that. I didn't like the way it made my stomach feel. I just didn't like it at all. But then you have some people who really, really advocate hard for protein shakes and love them. It all is based off of what your body responds to and how well it responds to it. So I would say give it a try if you would like, but it's not a necessity because you're literally getting protein with your meals. If you're eating 3 clean meals a day with protein with each meal, you are getting your source of protein right then and there. So you won't really need protein shakes. Stop trying to rely so heavy on supplements and shakes and stuff like that, and try to start being more heavily reliant on what you are consuming, natural foods which you're consuming. You know what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of these supplements are not a necessity. It's not really needed, okay? So always keep that in mind when you're figuring out which way to go about it. So the next thing I did was don't forget to train your glutes. Do not ignore your glutes, okay? So here are some workouts that are great for your booty: hip thrust, RDL, glute kickbacks, and lunges, okay? So I want you to know that your glutes are very, very stubborn. So high volume and just higher weights and higher reps is what's gonna do the best justice for your booty. So now that I don't lift super heavy, I try to make sure that I challenge myself when it comes to the reps I'm doing. So instead of me doing 4 sets of 10, I'll up it to 4 sets of 20, because if I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell, I want to kind of challenge myself just a little bit. Now, I don't challenge myself every single time I'm training my legs. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's every once in a while if it's time for me to up it. But a lot of the times I'm doing the same basic movements, glute bridges, just glute activation workouts to really isolate my booty and work on lifting it and toning it, as well as working on like growing my thigh muscle, because I just like that thicker thigh look. And those are the type of simple workouts I usually do, and I have them in rotation. I train my legs 2 to 3 times a week. If I'm working out 5 times a week, I might do 3, just 2 to 3 times a week, just based off of how I feel. If I'm too sore, I only do 2 times a week. I just go based off of that, but I always try to make sure I'm getting it in 2 to 3 times a week. I don't train legs back to back. So if I'm working my legs Monday, I don't think it's best to work it Tuesday, because we just worked that muscle. So give your body time to rest that specific body part. So Tuesday you could do a different body part. Usually how I work is Monday I'll do legs, and then Tuesday I'll just do a walk on the treadmill, because sometimes even a HIIT workout is too much on my legs if I just did a whole booty and legs workout. So I like to do light stuff on my legs if my legs are sore, because I need to give my legs time to recover, and your muscles grow when it is in recovery rest mode. So always keep that in mind too. Give yourself rest days as well. If you want your booty to grow, if you want your stomach to be flat, you need to give yourself time to rest as well in between. And I know that's a struggle for a lot of people if you just want results ASAP, but Overworking yourself is not going to make these results come any faster. Trust me, it's not. So the next thing you need to do is do not skip out on your ab workouts. Now, I remember telling you guys that I personally only did abs once a week, but I did some research a few days ago, and I found that it is best to do abs 2 to 3 times a week. So see, I'm even learning new stuff every single day. So I'm going to try to do a challenge, and you guys can do it with me. I'm going to try to do my abs 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm going to record myself doing it. So when I do it, it's going to be like a follow along style workout. And I'm going to post here with you guys so you guys can do it along with me. But I'm going to give a disclaimer. I'm probably going to do it in each one of my videos too. Do not work your abs every single day. Do not work your abs back to back. That is so important. Your abs are the quickest muscle in your body to overwork, and it'll be sore. Trust me. If you ever felt cramps in a period, the abs cramps feel just like that when your abs are super duper sore. It's just to me, that's the worst feeling. When my abs are sore, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So I like to give my body time to rest. But I think I'll be doing maybe abs twice a week. Maybe. I don't think I'm going to do 3 times a week just because I feel like I thrive when I do it less. So I'm just going to do 2 times a week just to start off because I really don't want to overwork that part of my body. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to post them. So when you see my ab workouts being posted, please remember to do them in moderation. Do not do them back to back, and it is not something that you need to be doing every single day. But here are some ab workouts that you could do, and they will also be in my videos, but I'll give you guys the names of them. Plank variations, weighted sit-ups, or regular sit-ups. If you don't have weights, regular sit-ups is still good for your core, and Russian twists and mountain climbers. Now, if you are just now getting into working your abs, I'll recommend doing body weight ab workouts, and then maybe after 2 weeks start adding in weights. But give yourself time to just, get used to the movement, because if you've never worked abs before, if you haven't worked abs in a long time, just the body weight, you'll feel it and you'll be working your abs. So give that time before you add the weights in with that. Weights, of course, are always great, but you can still do body weight ab workouts and still get great results. Even planks, that's a body weight ab workout. Mountain climbers is a body weight ab workout. Just with the weighted sit-ups, I'll wait for that until, you get used to doing abs more and your ab muscles tighten up and get stronger, okay? So the last thing that I want you guys to do along this journey, what do you think I'm gonna say? Be consistent, okay? I literally had to tell myself this too. Be consistent and don't be hard on yourself. The same way I just said I wasn't working my abs every single day. The old me would have been hard on myself and saying, wow, if I would have worked my abs every single day, or if I would have worked my abs twice a week, I would have had abs by now. But the new me understands that I'm learning and it's a process, and that's just something that I can be consistent with now. It's all a process, and it's all just about consistency, because honestly speaking, if you're not consistent with anything you do, no results will come. And that's with everything in life. So if that's what everything else in life, that applies to fitness too. So this whole journey, how you eat, how you're working out, it is going to become a lifestyle change. So with lifestyles, you cannot rush the process. You cannot force it. It is just going to happen. So as long as you're making healthier decisions day by day, and understand that nobody is perfect, nobody's body is perfect, so do not compare yourself. And also to understand that as a woman, it is natural to have a little bit of belly fat, okay? It's really hard to have 0% body fat. So it is natural as a woman to have some form of belly fat, some form of lower belly fat, but there's always ways to reduce it and just live a healthier lifestyle, okay? So always keep that in mind, and always keep in mind that nobody is perfect and that you are doing this for you, okay? This journey is for yourself to becoming the best version of you, okay? So you got this. I understand it might be easy to get discouraged along this journey, but whenever you get discouraged, just remember my voice telling you, girl, get up, you got this, okay? So if this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to give me a like and even a comment down below. I will conversate with you guys. I always respond back to my comments, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.